Let's talk about President Trump in this latest announcement. He has extended the ceasefire in West Asia, taking to Truth Social. President Trump has now confirmed that the ceasefire will be extended until such a time that a unified proposal from the government of Iran is received by the Trump administration. Let's get you exactly what President Trump has said in his Truth Social post, saying that based on the fact that the government of Iran is fractured and upon the request of the Field Marshal of Pakistan, Asim Munir, and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, America has now in a way led to this pause or a hold on this attack on Iran, and they have been asked to hold back till the time that Iran submits a unified proposal. And President Trump says he has directed the military, however, to continue with the naval blockade, and they will extend the ceasefire until a proposal is submitted. And this is now coming in from President Trump because he seems to defend the naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, saying that there will be no deal if the US does not block Hormuz on its own terms and conditions, to which the Iranian foreign minister has called the naval blockade of the United States to be as an act of war, and even when it comes to an attempt of piracy. However, President Trump, who has been defending the blockade, Iran has, however, been terming this to be as an act of war. Let's exactly tell you what Iran has been saying in its counter to what President Trump has been calling the naval blockade. Because what President Trump has been saying, that it is necessary for Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz, else how will it monetize? And if it does not monetize the Strait of Hormuz, well, economically, Iran is going to be hit. And there is no deal till the time Iran unilaterally, unconditionally, extends or surrenders before America. And this is something which the Iranian side has now openly rejected, saying that under the shadows of any threat, they are not going to work out a deal because both sides already have declared a decisive victory. Now, on part of the Iranian side, as now they have been calling this to be their decisive victory, saying that we are not on the losing side but on the winning side, and it is us who will dictate the terms and conditions. However, President Trump continues to mock Iran hours after extending the ceasefire. President Trump is now saying that Iran is collapsing financially. He's even sounded the SOS. And now President Trump, who has now in his latest post said that they want the Strait of Hormuz to be opened immediately because they are starving for cash. Let's listen in.
سخنگوی قرارگاه مرکزی خاتم الانبیا در پی تهدیدهای مکرر رئیس جمهور امریکا و فرماندهان ارتش متجاوز و تروریست این کشور با تأکید بر آمادگی کامل هشدار داد نیروهای مسلح جمهوری اسلامی ایران در صورت تجاوز و هر گونه اقدام علیه ایران اسلامی بلافاصله به اهداف از پیش تعیین شده قدرتمندانه هجوم می‌آورند و به امریکای متجاوز و رژیم کودککش صهیونیستی شدیدتر از قبل درس عبرت دیگری خواهند داد.
Well, child killers is something which both the aggressors, as Iran has been terming US and Israel to be. Let's in the meantime talk about President Trump again, because he believes that the naval blockade is effectively collapsing the Iranian economy. And he says that Iran is collapsing financially and they want the Strait of Hormuz to be opened immediately, and they are starving for cash, losing around $500 million every day. And the military and the police have been complaining that they are not getting paid. So this is the SOS call that President Trump now seems to be talking about, saying that the naval blockade on part of the United States has been effective because any entry or exit to the Iranian ports or any ship leaving the Iranian ports, it is now being stopped, it is being blockaded on part of the United States. So already we are looking at 2 Iran-bound vessels that have been intercepted, and this seems to be on 2 accounts, with President Trump, however, seems to be saying that they are choking Iran financially, saying that Iran is collapsing financially, they want the Strait of Hormuz to be opened immediately, and they are starving for cash, losing $500 million every day. Military and the police are now complaining because they are not getting paid, and they want to indulge in this war against the United States, which they will fail to withstand. Now, this is another round of threat in a way that President Trump, however, has said that if Iran does not agree to the terms and conditions or submits a unified proposal, then he's ready to blow up the country, including their leaders. So retaliation on part of Iran, as they are also saying that they are also ready and armed, because this is something that they will not take it lightly, and there would be even a greater retaliation against the US assets and also against Israel. Well, Srinjoy, good morning. Ceasefire announced. Now, this is something economically that President Trump believes that he's choking Iran.
Yes, the ceasefire means that there is no war. But economic warfare continues because the naval blockade, Trump believes, will actually harm Iran enormously. Now, there are two naval blockades, really, two blockades. The first, of course, is the American of all Iranian ports. The second is what Iran has said: no ship can go through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, if that happens, it affects all these Gulf countries and also Iraq. A country like, let's say, UAE, luckily has one port which is east of the Strait of Hormuz and can at least do some business through that port. The Saudis have something in the Red Sea, on the Red Sea, so that will help. But for others like Iraq, like Kuwait, like Qatar, it is extremely difficult. So this is a test of wills. It's a test of economies, because the Gulf states and Iraq will be hurt as long as the Strait of Hormuz is closed. And as long as the naval blockade continues of Iranian ports, Iran is not going to benefit either. So this is a difficult situation, and this will hurt other countries. It will hurt China, Japan, India, South Korea, countries that regularly wait and depend on oil and natural gas from all these countries and the stuff that goes through the Strait of Hormuz.
Yes, because they have been affected, and this is something which United States already saying that the naval blockade has in a way been successful when it comes to choking Iran financially, because now they are running out of money, they are running out of cash.